Good morning, everybody. You're listening to the Gen X Talk Show. It's a nice morning with my good fellow friends over here. We got Jab directly across from the old JFB right here. Big Mike over here heading things up.
What's going on?
Well, I'll tell you what's going on. We're going to talk about things you can't do on television anymore. Yeah.
Things you can't do.
Exactly.
Not to be confused with things you can't.
And that's a lot of shit to talk about.
Yeah, so we're going to get into that a little bit later, but real quick, we're going to have a segment called Let's Eat.
Let's eat.
Let's eat. And pretty much the Let's Eat segment is going to be us just talking about stuff that went on this week, current events, different things like that. So I'm going to start off talking about the death of Tina Turner. Yeah, Tina Turner passed. She was 83 years old.
Yeah, she was up there.
Yeah, and a lot of people are talking about it. They're saying she passed from natural causes. But I talked to her publicist, and her publicist said that she was dealing with intestinal cancer.
She's dealing with what?
Intestinal cancer.
Intestinal? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
she had been having an intestinal cancer battle for a very long time.
Probably because Ike hit her in the stomach 50 times over.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it, man. I did not. Hey, on behalf of Tina Turner, we're all doing powder.
Yeah, no doubt.
We're all doing powder. We're all doing powder this week. What else is going on, man? The Lakers got swept.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
All the brunsexuals. Attention, all brunsexuals.
Oh, man.
We need to hear from you.
You know, it's funny. I watched a show interview with Charles Barkley, and he was on a golf course. Subsequently, his favorite band is the Eagles. Never thought I'd hear that from Charles Barkley. But anyways, he was talking about LeBron and how everybody thinks that, whoever thinks, rather, that LeBron's the greatest. He said, I'm just going to smack him. He goes, I'm just going to let the judicial system take over because no one's better than Jordan.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way?
Of course. Of course. I really don't. Personally, I don't really like comparing people from different eras.
Yeah.
I think they're both great, but you kind of have to. So many people do it, so you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I don't want to. I like him as a person.
Oh, yeah.
But as a player, I've seen him quit too many times.
He's not better than Jordan.
He threw up 3 bricks.
That's coming from me, and it took me a long time to admit that Tom Brady was better than Joe Montana. But LeBron is not better than Jordan, period.
Let me tell you what else is going on. Oh, alma mater. Crowley High School's graduations tonight.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's big stuff in Texas. My daughter's graduated. Shout out to my daughter, Tanaya. Walked across the stage, and I'm proud.
Oh, that's
I'm real
nice.
proud, man. I wanted to say that. And all the other graduates of 2023, there's a lot of them.
How many are graduating, do you know?
How did you ask me?
How many was in our class? Does anyone remember?
I'm going to make up some. 600. But there's way more now, I believe.
1,800.
Yeah.
All I know is my last name is Yowell, and I was the Y, and it take forever for me to watch everybody walk and strut their shit through the lines.
My daughter will be first. AB. Yeah, she'll get first, so that'll be good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty painful because my last name is S, and it took me a minute before I got to walk the stage, so I totally understand.
Did y'all remember dancing or doing anything like stupid when you walked across the stage? I did a little something.
I don't think I remember doing anything.
Just walked across.
I walked across and I got my ass out of there. I was so done with high school. I was ready to go.
That was a good. What else? It was a good night last night.
Oh, yeah, man. We had a little fun last night.
And shout out to the 21 Cigar Lounge.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
The 2-year anniversary.
Yep.
2 good years, man.
Yeah, people should check that out. That's Rhoda. They offer McCart. And
Yep, right there on McCart by Pizza Hut.
Yep, behind Taco Bueno, across the street from Kroger. You know, I never knew the address to that place. I can damn sure tell you how to get there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
in the Big Lots parking lot.
I went there. I stopped in there the other day, and it was on a Sunday, and the doors was locked. Like, oh, damn, because I needed to get a box of cigars. But the owner, Ken Ray, was there, and he happened to see me, and he's great customer service. He goes, hey, come on in. And he was able to sell me a box of My Father's cigars, which is one of the best cigars you can get. So just a plug. I mean, that's some badass shit.
Yeah, man. And hey, the first person that gets there and says they heard it today, you can get something that's $20. I don't know. That's what I gave him and said, hey, on behalf of Gen X podcast, I don't know, Get a cigar for $20. I hope so.
Oh, you can get 2.
Yeah, if you can buy weed for $20, I know good and well you already get a cigar.
Well, it depends on the quality now. Not that I know anything about that.
I'm saying.
The quality of the weed or the quality of the cigar?
Both.
Yeah.
Ish.
Just go up there if you're the first person.
$20.
I can tell you if you're the first person. If you're not the first, you're out of there.
Yeah.
But go anyway. I set him up for failure. What else is going on, man?
Well, the mayor got reelected. I know we wanted to talk about that, but we never really got an opportunity to.
Big shout out to Maddie Parker. Yeah, I got to go to her election watch party. Oh, it was great. Ms. Maddie, you are flawless. I just want to tell her that. And her husband, David, he graduated with us. Well, I think he came out in 96.
Okay, yeah.
Play
So he was a year
basketball.
after me.
Yep.
Yeah, a basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
I remember him.
I think he was my second white friend. Jeremy was my first.
Okay, here we go. I'll take that honor.
And
I like it.
he was my second.
Did he smell like dogs too?
Oh, no.
I just wanted to know, was it continuous or was it just me?
Oh, man, I don't know. But I really do. I want to give her a shout out. I
think you got to answer Jeremy's question first. You can't leave him there.
Plead the fifth.
Yeah, well, no, I don't. No, he did. I just didn't want to.
So you're saying it's just Jeremy then?
Just Jeremy.
Dirty Jeremy.
And we spoke about that before. It's really funny because there's a stereotype for you all that don't know. Landon's about to learn something. There's a stereotype that a lot of black people have, and we think that white people smell like dogs. And as a child, I was, you're like, white people smell like dogs. You don't know why people say that. Sometimes they say it when it rains.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying it's true. But when I met Jeremy, he really did. But it was because they had, how many dogs did y'all have?
Man, I had like 3 or 4
they had
big German Shepherds.
They sure did, and they stayed in the house.
Yeah.
So when I met Jeremy, when I came over to Crowley area, and he smelled like dogs, it was like, dang, white people really do smell like dogs.
That's true, in that case scenario.
But
you know what? There is something to that because. But here's the thing, though. I knew white people who own dogs were more likely to keep their dogs inside, and black people always kept the dogs outside for a long time.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I'd say within the last maybe 20 years, it became more of a thing where everyone kept their dogs inside or everyone has an indoor dog. But for a while, black people would not have a dog in the house at all.
You better not have that dog in the house on that furniture with the plastic on it. You better not.
I've never observed that until you mentioned it. Now you're right.
Yeah, the dog ate whatever we did eat. We never bought dog food.
Yeah,
you all buy dog food. Our dog ate. I mean, nowadays, natural and raw is kind of popular, but when it wasn't, that dog's going to eat whatever we didn't eat. Whatever sat in the refrigerator for 3 or 4 days, dinner. Anyway, I'm trying to be serious just for a second so we can make a clip.
Black dogs ate good, though.
Black dogs ate good.
I'm trying to be serious for 1 second.
You're going to choke on an oxtail bone.
Yeah, I just want to say that she's done Maddie Parker, you've done a great job in her first 2 years. Sometimes I catch hell from my peers for following her. Good lady. She's always been dedicated to literacy, and literacy is like a big issue in Fort Worth. So the improvement of literacy, I mean, I really do respect that about it. Has a beautiful family. What's the epitome? The epitome of a wife. Leader of Fort Worth. All of those things. So that's your shout out from us, from Gen X, and we're gonna.
Who wears the pants in that relationship? You think?
I think she does.
You think she?
I really do. Yeah, she's boss of the city, man. She's mayor.
Shit, I don't know about all that. Now got to know your place. Now
David, I don't know. Maybe they'll come on here one day if she sees this. Maybe we can make a little clip and I can just send her just that part.
Yeah,
not the rest. and I really respect her because she treats me like a regular human being.
Well, you
even
are.
though I'm crazy.
Well, don't you expect that from everybody? I mean, even if you are crazy, to at least pretend like you're not for 5 minutes.
Yeah, like every time she sees me, it's like, hey, Jabari. She hugs me and all that, and it feels real. It don't even feel fake. It feels real.
Yeah. Well, she's a good performer. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
no, maybe. Hey, I don't. Hey.
She might have had another life back in the day.
I would.
The fact that she was willing to hug you says a lot.
Yeah, it says a whole lot.
Because I damn sure wouldn't.
So we're a couple of weeks late, but hey, better late than never.
Yeah, no, good. Well, congrats to her, and that's a good thing you're involved. I have to keep telling you, man, you need to get me in those circles. I like to meet some of these mayor people.
No, I don't want you coming trying to steal my shine.
Nah,
man. You
dude.
stay over there and do what you do, man.
Payola over here, I'll be like, you know what? I need a new building over here. It's zone residential. You think we can get a commercial hookup?
Why?
But you didn't hear that on the Gen X show. Okay?
Yeah, you did. Anything else? Man?
Well, congratulations to Maddie.
Yeah.
And there is something that I wanted to bring up because we haven't been on in a while. And another thing has passed, Mother's Day. And
oh, yeah.
this Mother's Day was a little bit difficult for me because it was the first Mother's Day without my mom. And I know that there's a few people out there that are kind of feeling that too. But I'm not going to tell a sad story today. What I'm going to tell is a story about cameras. Now, back in the day, back before everyone had a camera on the phone, we all had digital cameras. Did you guys have digital cameras?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right, yeah.
Because you guys were probably pervs. And then
Probably.
before digital cameras, there were the disposable cameras. And before that, we had the regular plain old film cameras.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah.
Now, if you wanted to do your naughty business, you had Polaroid cameras. You snapped the picture came right out of the camera, you slapped it off a little bit, and you got your picture.
Yep.
But my father never got that memo, and I was the one who had to suffer.
Okay.
So me and my parents, we were out one day, and I went out, and my father sent me to a place called Eckerd.
Yeah.
That was the place where you got your cameras developed before
The drugstore.
CVS came along.
Now it's CVS.
Yeah.
Yep. So I went out there and I went to pick up the pictures. And back then, the people at the store, they would show you each picture to make sure it was good because if it wasn't, they would redo it.
Yeah.
So the guy's flipping through the pictures and I'm like, all right, that's good. That's good. That's good. And then all of a sudden, I see a picture of my mother's butt naked ass.
Oh, wow.
The guy at the store looked at the picture. I looked at the picture. The guy at the store looked at me. I looked at him in complete shock and awe because I'm like 14 years old. I'm mortified. And mercifully, he kept flipping through the picture. I could not believe what I saw.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
How did you know it was your mom's ass?
Because it was my mom's body. It was a naked woman in my house.
Oh, okay.
Was her face connected to her?
Yeah,
No. It was from behind. And let's be clear on this. This was not like a picture, you know.
I just wanted to know, how did you know it was your mom's ass?
I know what my mom looks like.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
That's what popped in my mind.
Right. Yeah, no.
And let's be clear here. My dad, he was about that life. My mom absolutely positively was not. She was not posing for this picture. She wasn't doing anything dirty or anything.
Yeah.
She just happened to be walking towards the shower, and my dad took that opportunity to take a picture. And I'm the one looking at it inside Eckerd in front of some dude I do not know. And I am taking in all of the horror right now.
Who's the perv now?
I mean, it was terrible. And you know me, I was 14 years old at the time, and I was a 14-year-old asshole. So I made sure that my mom knew about this picture, and I sat back with my popcorn, and I enjoyed the fireworks that night.
Oh, man.
Man. I do want to, I want to say this too. Because I'm throwing this out here and people are like, well, isn't that embarrassing? Why would you bring that up? And the truth is, 14-year-old me felt some kind of way about it. But me today, I look at that and the way I feel is that if you're in a relationship or a marriage and you're not taking pictures of your wife's butt, then you're not living life right. I mean, I think there's something to the fact that you can be married for 30, 40, 50 years and still appreciate your woman's body enough that you want to take pictures of it. So I felt like there was something there that should be shared.
I agree.
Well, my phone is very rated R, and none of them are my wife. So I was like, I'm thinking, damn, I'm really screwed up. But you're all good, man. Ain't nothing abnormal about that.
Yeah. So transitioning to the main topic.
So let's talk about you can't do that on television anymore. And I I wanted to start by talking about shows like All in the Family or The Jeffersons. Like, there's no way in hell those shows would be made today in today's environment. Did you guys watch those shows back in the day?
Remember those shows?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I still like that George Jefferson walk.
Oh, dude. Yep.
Oh, man.
The waddle.
He was all cool. I love George.
Well, I guess we're going to talk about George Jefferson and Honky.
Oh, man. You say honky all the time.
Honky. Well, what about with that? Because all those, from what I understand, all those shows in that era, like the Jeffersons spun off of the Bunkers, Archie Bunker, All in the Family, All in the Family.
But it was the Bunkers at first.
It was the Bunkers at first.
Then it became All in the Family.
Right. And he would say Negro all the time.
Oh, he didn't say Negro all the time. Every once in a while, he dropped the other word.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Go ahead and say it, man.
I'm not gonna do it.
These guys are.
You gotta say it because they'll get cut out. That'll be my one little thing they cut out. And
look at this.
I'm talking.
Nigga.
Yeah.
It makes my teeth white. It's okay, man. It's not gonna get beat.
Yeah,
up,
you
man.
would get Joe Rogan quick.
Yeah.
They'll cut that out and they'll make that a whole video.
I'm gonna make a song called "I'm a Nigga, You're a Nigga." Wouldn't you like to be a nigga?
But yeah, Archie Bunker, that couldn't happen today. And I really don't like the way a lot of TV shows are going now. I know that some people are fans of this, but I do not like Bel-Air. I do not like how they took the Fresh Prince, the comedy sitcom, and turned that into a drama. I'm not a fan of it.
I don't know, man.
Everything doesn't need to be a drama.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they are changing. They're changing the shows up a lot.
Well,
there's a new White Men Can't Jump.
Is that coming out?
It's already out.
Really? White Men Can't Jump, a TV show? Is Woody Harrelson in it?
No, it's like all new, man. It's on Hulu.
Not interested.
I think it's just one show. I don't think it's like a series.
Well, what
about In Living Color? That's what I was gonna.
Oh, that's not gonna happen.
Definitely
today.
not gonna happen. Especially
Men on Films.
Men on Film.
Hated it.
Yeah.
You cannot make fun of that community at all.
Yeah.
No jokes. Nothing whatsoever.
You'd be better off saying the N-word.
Yeah.
You'd be better off saying the N-word in the middle of the hood
than to make a joke about the LGBTQIA.
Were boob dicks popular back then?
I don't know, but
back in the 90s, I don't remember that being a big thing.
JB has a word, and it's called boob dicks, and it's basically
the one that has the penis and has the boobies. Is that a trans woman or trans man? I can't remember what it. No, I'm not trying to be mean. I don't remember what. I get them confused.
Okay. If you're born as a man and you're identifying as a woman, then you are a trans woman. And vice versa, if you're born female and you identify as a man, then you're trans man. And speaking of that, there's no way in hell Ace Ventura could even happen today. Because if you guys remember, the bad guy in that movie was Ray Finkel, who, the kicker, laces out, but he had become a woman. And he still had his you-know-what, and they made a whole joke out of that.
Wow.
I do remember that.
Back in our day, we only had like Boy George and I think RuPaul.
Oh, was it like
as far
drag?
as drag or something. Yeah, we didn't. You know what that stuff was? I didn't.
But that's just drag. That's a whole different thing. Is drag?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know
because they still identify as male, but they present themselves as women. That's a whole different ball game. Yeah. Compared to people who...
Is that the L, the T, the G, the Q? Which one is that one?
The feds. The ATF. Yeah. Like, there's so many letters, I don't know.
Do y'all remember Crocodile Dundee?
Crocodile Dundee, the Hogan, Australian dude, yeah.
And he goes into a bar.
This
when he
is
first
a knife.
Yeah, that's a good... This is a knife. But no, he goes into a bar with this taxi cab driver. And this woman who's tall and got a manly voice, but she's trying to be really sexy like this, so you can still hear the masculinity in her voice. And he doesn't know because he's from Australia that she's a guy. And the taxi cab driver pulls him aside, and goes, "Hey, that's a dude." He's like, "What? That's a dude." He goes, "Get out of here!" And he goes up to her and just grabs her freaking nuts, like, and he's like, "Oh, sure enough, it is."
Right.
Why today? why do y'all think today all that is offensive? Because was it really that bad back then? I mean, was it a big deal, really?
No, it wasn't. I think because the community is so strong now.
Well, some of it is bad. I mean, some of it really is. I mean, I don't think we're better off without it, but we're better off having it and understanding that, this isn't the way you treat people. This isn't the way we should be talking to people.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking about this earlier. Did you guys watch The Walking Dead?
I've never seen it.
The Walking Dead TV series?
I don't even know what it's about.
The zombies.
I've heard. Okay.
So there was a character
I did see that.
named Merle Dixon in the early seasons of The Walking Dead. And I don't even think you could have that show in 2023. Like, The Walking Dead came out in 2010. I don't think you can have that in 2023. I don't think you can have Merle Dixon on your show at all in 2023. And that's the part that I'm talking about that's kind of fucked up. Because, I mean, he was clearly a bad guy. He was a racist motherfucker. I mean, he did all of the racisms. Like, he was dropping the N-word probably more than Archie Bunker.
Yeah.
And, that was all on the show. And, I mean, it was a good character. I mean, I think his name is Michael Rooker.
Oh, yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, it was a good character. And he had a decent little redemption arc at the end. And I feel like today you wouldn't even be able to have him on your show. You'd have to either nerf him so much that he wouldn't be the same character anymore, or you would just have to leave the character out completely.
I think movies like Mississippi Burning, maybe even Shaka Zulu, maybe even Roots, a lot of like slave movies, I don't think they would be popular like today, new ones. Because if you look at it, America kind of wants to forget and write off slavery. They want to write that off. And so I think the people who would support it, well, even if they had it, it wouldn't be as successful as far as finance. So I think a lot of those type of shows, because we know so much history now, a lot of stuff back then, you could just show something on a movie, people assumed it was true. You know what I mean? Like, now people, that's not what happened. That's not historically correct. They didn't do that. Or they didn't do this. So people are not going to buy into it the same. And then I really feel America just wants to write off of that. Nobody wants to keep talking about, as a whole, like slavery and like even in schools. What is it called now?
Was a black person, what do you want America to do?
Man, I don't give a really. If they want to give me some money, I'll take it. I'm not gonna lie. Shit, I'm not turning down.
Yeah, I'm not anti-reparations.
Yeah,
I mean, if that shit kicks off, I mean, white people are just gonna have to be mad because I'm getting my bag.
I think everybody would get it though, like in a sense, because who's to say, like, and that might be what we're descendants of. Like, let's say, like, your grandparents migrated here. Let's say my grandmother comes from, I'm just gonna make up Nigeria, and she came in 1908. And my grandfather too, on both sides. Would I be entitled to that? You get what I mean? Because everybody here whose skin is the color of mine, not necessarily.
Do you feel entitled to it?
Did not necessarily come from slavery.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask. I'm curious now. So forget, that of course if it's there, get it. I got you there. But forget that for a minute. If you were the sole decision maker based on what you feel you should be entitled to outside of, hell yeah, I want it because it's money, do you think you should be entitled to it?
Yes. And I'm going to say, I don't know who should be entitled. No, let me take that back. I don't know. But I know that if it was something that was written and an agreement, then it should be delivered. Yeah. Now, as far as who would get it at this point, because it's obvious it's way more people and descendants. Yeah. I mean, by the time you divide it up, maybe it's probably going to be $100 a person.
Yeah.
So maybe per family. I don't know. You know what I mean? If you made an agreement,
how do you put a value on it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I would know how to do.
How much?
We got to remember, we were promised 40 acres and a mule. Okay, I'll take a half acre and a chihuahua, and I'll be happy. All right,
that'll work.
All right, give me a little bit of land, and I'll be happy.
They're going to give you land in the middle of the sky.
And a little puppy. I'll be good with that.
Canyon. They're going to give it to you in the middle of the Grand Canyon. There you go.
Do you feel like this topic is something people don't want to talk about now in media and TV?
Hell no, they don't want to talk about
Oh
it.
no one. Well, yeah, they do want to talk about. They want us talking about it because it keeps us from talking about more important issues or government corruption, and how blatant the insider trading is going on in Washington. I mean, they don't want us talking about that shit or the bullshit war in Ukraine. They don't want us talking about that shit.
Right.
So they'd rather hear us talk about racism or transgender people or
COVID.
all sorts of other social issues, COVID. Like, these are the conversations that the powers that be want us to have. And we have to be smart enough to know that these aren't the conversations we need to be having, you know?
Yeah.
But this is
The
Gen
Cosby
X
Show.
talk. We're not.
Cosby Show.
Yeah.
It would not be on today.
Well, that's because Bill Cosby raped a bunch of people.
Not even that. Still not even doing that. I'm just saying, if you look at television today, and I hate to make it a race thing, but especially with black families, you don't see a mother and father in the house raising children. You don't see it. Name a show.
There is a show though. There is a good show out there, and it's only on BET Plus, so that probably plays to the point that you're
What is
making
the
right
name
now. Miss Pat,
Okay, I know that.
the comedian.
Yeah, that
she
show's
has a
pretty funny.
sitcom, and it's actually really good.
It is good, but what I'm saying is that image. The father is a successful doctor. The mother is a successful attorney, and they're raising their children in the house. There's something.
Two successful parents don't stay married that long.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. You wouldn't see a show. You don't see shows. I mean, you got Empire. They took Bill Cosby and, like you said, made him a rapist or whatever.
So
and they gave us Empire.
that's an interesting point. So you feel like I've never observed it like this until you mentioned it, because I don't really watch a lot of TV these days.
Yeah.
But so you're thinking that as a society in America now, we don't want to support the nuclear family anymore
Heck no.
because that's too traditional, and that doesn't support all these other communities that feel like that's pushed onto them, that they have to be that way. Is that maybe what you're suggesting?
I'm suggesting that, and I'm suggesting that I don't believe they want to show a positive black family. You
Why
don't
would
see
you
it.
not? Why would you not think that?
You don't see it.
Well, but you know why? I think you do, and maybe tell me if I'm wrong. Keith David, he starred in a show called Greenleaf. Have you seen that?
The pastor.
The pastor.
Yeah,
he was the pastor on Greenleaf.
Right.
And
He got divorced.
he
Remember?
did. But I mean, but the show, it was still a black family and a powerful black family.
Yeah.
It showed power, like
Right.
power, and
No, that is true.
yeah, and I think from that angle, perhaps it did show that you could be black and have power.
What I meant, I didn't mean power. When I said successful family, I meant husband and wife successful, raising their children. Greenleaf, they were powerful far as owning a church and money, but they were not happy. They got divorced.
But-
The wife, the wife
Fair
was
enough.
always combative. She was
Yeah.
always, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A totally different type of show. I'm not. I mean, Empire, they're successful. A show with, two women married together could be successful.
Yeah.
I'm saying a husband and wife working it out. You won't see a show like that ever again. I don't.
Well, are you talking just black or just in general?
Probably just in general.
Maybe in general, but
See, I
I know
think
for
it's more
sure.
in general.
Yeah, probably in general, but especially.
Well,
With-
I don't.
Because we don't even have like shows like Married with Children anymore. I mean, I heard that they're actually going to bring back a animated version of Married with Children. But I don't know how well that's going to go.
Well, there was a show. I'm trying to look it up now. Remember, Tim Allen did a show called Last Man Standing,
Yeah.
and it got canceled,
Right.
because he had his beliefs and he was keeping it clean and keeping it as a nuclear family. In the network, it raises to your point, didn't really try to support that. They try to
Right.
add in a bunch of these, boob dick agendas and stuff.
Yes, and it's
Yeah.
true.
No, I know, and they cut it. They shut it down.
Another thing you wouldn't see, I think the husband and wife, like I Love Lucy. How they slept in a separate bed and all that.
Yeah.
All of that type of stuff, I don't think you would see today in television. People would, what the heck? I'm gonna get married for? We don't sleep in the same bed. Like,
Oh, I know.
you know what I mean? And even though our show is things that you don't see anymore, I kind of feel like we have discussed things that you see now that you wouldn't have seen back then too. Kind of, you know what I mean?
But you know what you do see more of now? You see more scantily clad women, half naked people.
Yeah.
Now you got more exposure to the human body And it's every show almost.
Yep.
Everywhere.
And homosexuality is in every show.
There's always the token gay couple or gay guy or something.
There's more sex scenes in TV now between homosexual couples, relationships, than you never see a man beating the brakes off a woman.
Yeah.
But when they show a man and a man, I mean, it gets very detailed. Like even on regular, it's like, oh,
dude, I was watching a show with Neil Patrick Harris. You remember Doogie Howser?
Yeah.
Hold on, what's the name of that show? I'll tell you. It was a new one on on AB or no, what do you call it? HBO.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the name of it now. I'll look it up. But
shout out to Marcus. I see you listen. Shout out to Candy.
Yeah, he plays a gay guy, and what the hell's the name of that damn show? I can't remember. Anyways, but you're right. It shows so much physical interactions between the two, and I'm not just singling out gay people, by the way. I mean, it's this way also with heterosexuals, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, how does that okay? But but we're not really okay with a normal, let's call it normal, traditional rather, conservative family talking about their issues as a normal family. Why is that not okay, but all the other shit is? What's wrong with our fucking country?
Yeah, I don't know at all.
I mean, I can understand.
What the fuck?
We try to push it to make it acceptable, which I believe 100% it should be acceptable that we shouldn't treat anyone different from anyone else. But I do feel like sometimes in the pursuit of making other things normal, we're kind of pushing things out the door too, Yeah. We are pushing the traditional nuclear family out the door. And I kind of understand that probably more people can relate to that because traditional nuclear families haven't been really working out lately.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of divorces. I think some of us might have experienced that. So
definitely.
I can definitely see shows being more relatable to current families and the way things are today. But at the same time, I think for a lot of people still believe that is the ideal family and that's the way they want to live. A lot of people are living that way. And I feel like a lot of those people are starting to feel underrepresented by today's media.
And, when you talk about something I'd like to bring up too, that really frustrates me more now than ever. I don't know if it does to you guys. I can't stand it that celebrities got to offer their freaking opinions on shit like politics or their opinions on a particular social issue, but they do it in a public forum like the Academy Awards or, wherever they're going to be where they're supposed to talk about their craft. Elvis Presley back in the 60s, late 60s, or maybe early 70s, he was at the time, he was the largest entertainer in the world. And they tried to get his opinion on some political issues at the time. I can't recall which one. And he just goes, well, I'm an entertainer. I ain't going to talk about my political views. I just want to entertain you guys.
That was a pretty good Elvis.
You like that?
Yeah, you get that from your brother?
Yeah. I'm the king in the swing, you know what I'm saying? Nah.
I don't think anyone should be forced to do anything. Yeah. But you kind of have to because of the people who control your money. That's what it's really about.
Oh, for sure.
Even with a lot of, we could probably talk about athletes later, but even with athletes, oftentimes they have to say certain things, and I don't believe that I don't like that D Wade situation, with his child. I believe he's getting paid to say that, and he has to say that. And if he doesn't, if he told us what he really thought or really may have done, it's like they're going to snatch everything from him. So the higher you get up, the louder, the more you're kind of enslaved to which way you're going to go.
Yeah.
And you have to either be this side or only in politics can you stand firm, I guess, on what you say you believe. But even that determines whether you get voted or not.
I don't think that's the case either. And yeah, people are programmed to say this stuff, and that's my problem with it. I don't care if people share their political opinions or views or whatever, But I don't think a lot of them are really being genuine or saying the things that they really believe. I think they're saying the things that they're told to say, and they're only saying certain things that are socially or politically acceptable, you know? Like, if a guy comes out, like, you can say all sorts of things. You can talk about climate change. You can talk about racism. You can talk about the LGBTQ. But let a celebrity walk up and say he voted for Trump and see what happens to him.
Oh, yeah. No, that's true.
I voted for Trump.
You did.
Fuck y'all if you don't.
But would you say you didn't if I gave you $1 million?
Hey, Joe Biden said you ain't black.
Would you do it for $1 million? Would you say it? Would you
Say what? That I didn't? Hell yeah. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Would you sell out your opinions publicly for $1 million?
That's what people do all
No,
the time.
no.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
would you do it?
Heck yeah.
Would you do it, Mike?
Yes.
Now it depends on what it is too.
What you want me to say, boss?
There's certain things.
Would you say, you know what? Would you say I'm openly gay for $5 million?
Yes.
The entire world. Mike, we get it. Mike is it.
Look.
Mike would probably actually be gay for $5 million.
It would be on the table.
Hey, you know, that must be a joke. You know what you call a gay guy's ball sack?
What?
A mud flap.
Oh, dear.
It's almost time to go. It's almost time to go.
No, it's not. We still got 20 minutes.
15.
But it does make, to your point, I mean, think about D-Wade and those guys. I mean, they're getting paid millions of dollars. It's like, do they really give a shit what people think by and large?
Yeah.
And do we really give a shit what he thinks, honestly?
No.
Or we're just bored in the moment we're keyboard warriors?
It's just something to talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot of keyboard warrioring going on. Yeah, it is.
Shit.
Me neither.
Yeah, put a price tag on.
You
I'm a high dollar
broke-
hottie, baby. I'll tell you. Whatever
you gotta
it
be
is.
a broke
Mhm.
motherfucker. Really, it's a broke mentality to sit up and just really be that concerned about what people are doing. On that issue, I just want people to be more like whatever his opinion is with his child, but like there's other people who have had their children taken away from them for allowing them to do certain things at certain ages.
Mhm.
The 12-year-old, you're letting a 12-year-old do this, but there's someone else who they took the kid and said they were unfair parent. So I just believe that there should be more consistency when it comes to But as far as his belief, that shit ain't paying my bills. You know
Yeah,
what
it
I mean?
ain't mine either,
Now, if
dude.
somebody's really harming a child, like molestation, things
Oh,
like
that's
that,
different.
I'm all, there's nothing you can tell me or give me to
Yeah.
be okay. But like, you know,
Yeah.
you want to let your son wear a dress, I ain't buying this fucking.
See, I think that, I don't know, man. I might just, because, you know, here's the thing about life. You don't always get what you want. We can admit that.
Exactly.
And so sometimes you just got to wait until you're in control of your life. When you're a young man, you're not really in control of your life. I mean, you are acutely.
Yeah.
But you have this, you should, other than circumstances where families are broken and all that, you should have good governance, authority figures trying to give you good governance in your life.
That's true.
And if you, as an authority figure, as an adult, for example, me, adult male in my 40s, if I see a young man or woman, whatever, and they have an identity crisis, you know, is what I call it. I know that's going to offend a lot of people, but identity crisis, and they don't know what they want to be, I'm going to be like, look, be what you are biologically, okay? And we can't talk about this, but we can. But people, this is the thing that you can't talk about.
Yeah.
Be what you are biologically until you have the ability to be what you want to be psychologically.
Right.
And I feel like my responsibility is to love and coddle and make sure that no matter what you are, even if you identify, let's say you're a boy and you want to be a girl, and you identify with feminine and, you know, being a woman, fine. And I'm not going to say I'm not going to browbeat you. I'm not going to talk down to you. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to listen to you. And I'm going to understand you. But I'm going to say, listen, that's fine. But right now, you have to accept what you are. I mean, you know, I'll never be a Michael Jordan. Even if mentally I'm a better ball player than Michael Jordan, I'm not. But let's say I was. I'll never be Michael Jordan. Look at me. I don't have the physical attributes.
You could be Larry Bird.
I could be Larry Bird. Could have.
No, you can't.
Well, you know, hey, you know, I could try. But you get my point.
Yeah.
It's like, so we have to teach, and I'm not trying to make the show about that, but I'm trying to say we have to have the rights and the abilities to be able to be a responsible authority figure without all these media type individuals out there, or these entities that want to impose to. I think a majority feel the way I feel of this country. I really do, and it's the minority that really have turned into the bullies.
Yeah,
they really have, because they're so loud and so forceful what they think they should be allowed to do. Now that everyone feels like we have to change the majority's viewpoints just to fucking oblige that group,
right?
And it's cock blocked what we can do on TV.
Yeah, and
that's
what I was just about to say.
Yeah,
and that's the thing when we talk about things you couldn't do now that you could do then. Is you couldn't be honest about how you really feel. I mean, you can't do that now.
Right.
Back then, I think 30 years ago, I think a television show would have said, children shouldn't be able to, young boys shouldn't be able to decide they want to be girls. And you could get on television and you could say that. Yep. And I think everybody would support you and agree.
Yeah.
Whereas today, if you were to get on television and say that, cancel. And these people will spend millions and millions of dollars. The agenda, I think, is, we were talking about the reparation.
Yeah.
And I believe, as a black man, what I do believe is this, that the people before us, our ancestors or our parents, grandparents have fought this fight. And it's now getting to the point where it's coming. Say the reparations, it's coming. And I think what these other communities are doing is, that I disagree with, is they're making their rights equal to civil rights. So even if there was to become something, you would have to take care of everybody. So it would never really happen. So I really think that's what this is more about. That's my personal belief.
No, I agree.
You're going to make, okay, I was born black, of course.
Yeah.
And so you're telling me that because you decide you want to be a woman, like you were hung and you were, you know what I'm saying? You're telling me that it's equal to that? Like, no way.
What
no
about,
way.
One thing I'll put in here. What about how ass backwards we are, though? In other words, the left wing, the left side is saying, look, we want to be able to vocalize gay people, gay couples. We want to push that on society. We want to accept that you can identify being a man if you're a woman, or woman if you're a man. But what about this? How ass backwards is this? What about that lady? I can't remember her name, but the white woman that identified being black, and she ran the NAACP.
NAACP, yep.
And everyone flipped out on her.
It's wrong, yep.
Is that really okay? If we're going to stay on the right, if we're going to stay on the left side,
here,
LGBTQ.
Yeah, it has to be okay.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Why wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because you can change your gender, but you can never change your race. If you're black, you're black.
You can never change your gender.
And they make sure of that.
But there's really no
But
such
I'm
thing
saying
as race.
socially.
Yeah. There's really no such thing as race, though. If you really understand, that's something America came up with.
Yeah.
You have two things. You have culture.
Yeah.
And you have ethnicity, like where you're from.
Yeah.
Like, land. And then you have culture.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
If I went to, like, let's say Crowley, back when I went to Crowley.
Yeah.
And maybe I talk like it. Maybe this. Okay. I have the region, my ethnicity, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then I have my culture. So if my culture was like Kobe Bryant,
yeah,
his culture could be the same as his wife's.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Race was something in America that was made of. When you look at the Olympics, and let's say you see the French,
yep,
and you see a dark-skinned guy that looks like me.
Yeah.
They don't call him black. They call him Frenchman.
Right.
You go to Jamaica, you see white people, they look like you.
Yeah.
They don't really call them white, just Jamaican.
Right. No, you're right.
I agree. And they act just like the dark-skinned people that are Jamaicans.
Right.
That's their culture.
Yeah.
So you have culture and you have ethnicity.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree with that. I think that's a...
So you should be able to change. And what happens if I decide I feel like I'm a child?
Yeah.
Should I be able to pull up little girl skirts now because I'm just...
How far away from that are we?
Not very far.
I agree. I personally think all that shit, like, just be what you are what you are.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Just be what you are.
Yeah.
Even those people that got, like, a dick and a pussy. What do you call them? Hermaphrodites.
Oh man.
Hermaphrodite, or I think the actual word is intersex.
Intersex. So what do you call them?
Intersex?
No. Transgender, trans woman. What if what if you're confused? You got both. You're fucked.
Then you're intersex.
But what if, you know what I'm saying? Like, what you just decide you switch off? You could be a switch hitter.
I mean, yeah, you can be whatever you want to be. Now, see, on our old podcast, my old podcast, we actually discovered a dude who had 2 schlongs.
Really?
Yeah. I forget his name, but yeah, he was a whole big deal. And
one in the pank, one in the stank.
It's hard for me to.
And that's the thing; they were both big.
With both of our camera people over here, man. It's just like I keep looking over at David.
The kids.
It's like, man, I can't even.
Okay,
I'm gonna sit it.
Let me not talk about my old podcast. We talked about a lot of things there, but yeah, there was a dude that had 2 dongs, and apparently he could only use one at a time. Like, only one could become.
I quit. I'm going on.
I am interested in that. That's a very
next show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Or just look up Rule 34 with Becky and Patience, and you'll find that episode.
That brings a whole new meaning to teabagging.
Yeah.
What's the plate cleanser about? Yeah, we.
Okay, well, I think what we've come to today is that, there's a lot of things that came on back in the day that there's no way it could happen today, and I don't know if all of that's right or wrong. I can agree with some of it. A lot of it I don't agree with. And then there's a lot of things we're seeing now on TV that we didn't see back then, that wouldn't be allowed back then. But then I don't know if censorship has increased. I think it's just changed, because whether it was then or now, it's always been something that wasn't allowed. But anyways, let's do a little thing called 2 Truths and a Lie.
2 truths and a lie.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna tell you guys 3 stories, and 2 of them are true. 1 is a straight up lie, and you guys got to guess which one is the lie.
2 truths and 1 lie.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Number 1, I used to develop video games. I've actually published 3 video games, and 1 is still out there in the world. 2, I once owned a pet scorpion, a pet python, and a dog named Dog. And 3, my dad was in the Air Force for 20 years, and he worked at Lockheed Martin for 20 years, and I've been around airplanes my entire life, but I have never flown.
You never flown in a plane?
Right.
Can I guess or no?
Go ahead.
The first 2 are true, and the second one is the lie.
You said the first 2 is true, and the second one
I already know these.
Wait.
The first 2 things you told us with the scorpion is true. The one about the video games is true. The one about you never flew in a plane, your dad worked at it, that's the
Okay, what do you think?
I think I already know.
You already know?
I think 1 is true and 3 is true. 2 is false.
2 is false?
2. The scorpion thing is false.
Okay. Jab is correct.
Oh, really?
I once had a black emperor scorpion named Onyx.
I remember.
I had a king snake and a python.
For the snake, and I remember the dog named Dog.
And I had a dog named Dog.
Shit.
I've created 3 video games and published them. 2 of them aren't around anymore, but 1 is still available and you can download it.
Oh, nice.
You know how I knew it was true? By how descriptive you were about it. And you was like, and one of them is still out now. And like, that's kind of.
Yeah, and I'll put a link up if anyone's interested in that game.
And I remember you having a dog named Dog. I didn't know about the scorpion and that, but I remember the dog named Dog. So I said that's kind of.
And the third one, I've been around airplanes my whole life. I do not like to fly, but I have flown 3 times.
Oh, okay.
Was your dad in the Air Force or the Army?
He was in the Air Force.
Okay. I thought maybe he was in. I knew he was in the military.
Air Force 20 years, and then he designed jets for 20 years. I went to every air show that ever happened in DFW for my entire life until I moved out of my parents' house.
And real quick, everybody, if you're listening or watching now, make sure that you actually like our page. If you're listening on YouTube, make sure you actually like this podcast and subscribe.
And share it with your friends if you like our content.
Subscribe. And my close friends, I can tell who's subscribed and who's not. So all of y'all keep sending these links to, and you're not, I'm looking at you like this.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, man. Help us out. Help us look good. Even if you don't want to watch it, subscribe anyways.
And hey, if you don't like our content, comment. Tell us we suck. Tell us why we suck.
Yeah, we need more haters.
Yeah, and tell us what you want to hear about too. You can write us inboxes.
Or if you like some of us and you hate others, tell us that too, so we can talk shit about them.
But I want to give you an advance. Go fuck yourself if you're that person. Just want to throw it out there. Okay.
And are they still getting the free pizza?
Yeah, man. Go to Parati's, trustthecrust.com.
Yeah. Enter the Gen X.
Gen X Talk.
There you
Gen
go.
X Talk.
Yep, and you get a free pizza, up to a free large with 1 or 2 toppings.
Yeah, I think and don't eat it all in one day, because I did. And boy, I had a night. I had a hell of a night.
Yeah.
I'm glad I was sleeping alone. I had a hell of a night. I ate that old pizza.
Last night?
No, the night that whatever day it was, I got it.
Right on. Okay,
yeah. I went and got mine already. It's already
good.
done.
Yeah, that's good, man.
There were times that I would eat a whole pizza, and now I can't even think about eating one slice of pizza. It's crazy. But I like a medium pizza from Pizza Hut. Like, that would just be my entire pizza. I'd eat the whole thing. I mean, I was bad.
I'm burnt out.
I just had that. Yeah.
Well, guys, I think that's it. That's the end of Gen X Talk for now. If you're watching us live, stay tuned, and we will be back for episode 2 for today.
Okay.
And until then,
and every Tuesday, the new episode.
Every Tuesday, new episodes on Spotify, Pandora, I think, Google Podcasts. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on Amazon Music. So subscribe to us there, like us there. YouTube and Facebook, of course, and everywhere else, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
Yeah, we're out.
All right.
So
sayonara.
Until next time, bye.